Hi, good morning. It's a wonderful Friday, and you are most welcome again to our STEM series. So, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are joining us from. My name is Estella Hildanaman, and I'm the coordinator for American Corner, and I'll be your moderator for this session. So, American Spaces provides access to current and reliable information about the United States through book collections, internet access, events, and activities for everyone. So today we have an interesting topic on our table today, and facilitating this session is none other but Stephen Maltodonko. Stephen Maltodonko is a trained telecommunications engineer who has a good understanding of information communication technology. He's also the founder of Steve Doc Limited, a tech startup. He's an avid free and open source software advocate and trainer, leading over 8 years of Software Freedom Day celebrations in Ghana. He also has led participatory and disaster risk management using open source tools on the Open Cities Africa Accra projects. So today our topic is insightful, as I said earlier, and it's about how to use OpenAI ChatGPT for education and work. So facilitating this session is Stephen Maltodonko. Please, over to you, sir. Thank you.
Hello, let's talk again.
Hi, Malto.
Hello, Esther, kindly confirm you can hear me.
Yes, yeah. Can hear you loud and clear. Hello, Malto. Hi, Stephen. Hello, Stephen. So yes, as our facilitator just gets ready to hold a session, you can just drop in the comments chat section where you are joining us from. Let us know what you know about GPT. It's popular now. Let us know what you've heard about. Have you used it before? Has been your experience? Let us know in the chat box below. Thank you. Hello, Stephen. So just a brief intro about ChatGPT before our facilitator takes on the session. So it's a sampling model to instructor GPT, which is trained to follow an instruction in a prompt and provide a detailed response. So I'm asking our participants if they've ever heard of it and have you used it before? How has been your experience? Share with us in the comment box below. Okay, so I'm gonna just start since I'm the one moderating. So yeah, so I've used Chat GPT. It's really like work effective. Like it's like the best friend you would ever want to have. And I love the fact that it's very conversational. So you can just input an information you want to know. It's like asking a friend or somebody who knows better than you a question, and then they give you a response. And it's able to collate all the responses that are on Google and give you the ones that are, well tailored for the information you're asking for. So do we have any other experiences that you would love to share with us before Stephen joins us? So I'm sharing my screen now, and we're just gonna just try our hands on it before our facilitator just gets in. So for instance, if I'm in a working setting, right? So if I have to write a letter to maybe a school to invite them for, a partnership, this is how I would just input the information, and let's see what that chat GPT will bring to us. So for instance, I can just type in an intro, okay, say a partnership letter. A partnership letter to a school. Yeah, so let's see what the inputs will be. So as you can see, it's giving you a well, structured letter that you can, use to, help you work faster. Maybe usually you would have probably had to sit down and think through it for a very long time before you come up with such, a structure. But with this, you are able to have like a template in quotes where you can now come into the letter, read it out, and then see how you can make it a best fit for your organization. So, you have to just re-edit it and make it more, as I said, best fit for your organization. Then you can just send a letter across. So that's how effective it is. This could have taken you quite like maybe an hour or two to come up with exactly what to say, right? You can even make it more specific. So for instance, let me partnership letter to say, okay, let's use an example, American Corner. For an information session. On right. So let's make it this way, right? And let's see how the AI tool would create our letter. So let's read through. It says, Dear American Corner, I'm writing to propose a partnership between our organization and your STEAM institution for an information session on opportunities in green business. So it gives you, like, for instance, it has given us what green business is all about. So if, for instance, I'm doing an eco-friendly business, it has already given a highlight of what I want to say. Then you can, add probably just maybe some specific things that your organization or business does. Then we can go into the part of American Corner. So one of the amazing things about this is that the AI tool knows what American Corner is all about. So it's able to give you specific things about American Corner. So it's saying that the information session will be open to the public and will feature industry experts who will discuss the latest trends, innovations, and opportunities in the green business sector. And the session will also include a Q&A session where attendees can ask questions and learn more about the industry. So this is actually like a good way to go if you want to, speed up. It takes up a lot of work from your table if you want to do anything at all. So let's give another example. For instance, if I am a social media, the director of my company, and I want maybe captions for or ideas for reels, Instagram reels. Let's see what the AI tool would give us. So you can just be more specific and say maybe 15 captions, 15 captions for Instagram reels. Say, for instance, if if your business or the place you work, maybe it's about fashion, so maybe I would want to write about maybe fascinators. So let's see how it would help me out with that. So you would see that first it said elevate your look with a fascinator, perfect for any occasion, all dressed up with somewhere to go in my fascinator. Fascinators aren't just for a race. I'm loving the accessory all year round. So this is just a good way to go. One of the key things you have to understand about what AI tools are doing now is that you can partner with the AI tools instead of being probably dispensable in your venture. Rather, you can partner with the tool and then have an upper hand in using that particular tool. When you get work done easier, you can get something that could have taken you 2 weeks to do, and you can use just 1 day to finish it up. So it has a lot of opportunities, that you can explore. For instance, okay, let's come to education. So let's say if I want to do a presentation on, let's say, crafts work for students in junior high school. So we can put it this way. Ideas for we can make it more specific and say that add a captivating and hook to make the kids interested in crafting. So let's make it a STEM session. So So as we can see, we're having diverse ideas on how to make, or how to teach junior high school kids in a STEM session. So, for instance, we have one, it talks about robotics and coding. So it says, introduce students to the world of robotics and coding by letting them build their own robots using coding techniques. So here it's giving me an idea of the technique I can use to make the kids more interested in that particular topic. So he said so the hook, the one that I added to it, the specified one I added to it, the chat, it said, be a tech wizard and create your own robots. That can stir up the kids to do something very interesting, something creative. So we come to another aspect. It says science experiments. Conduct simple yet fascinating science experiment that will make students curious and eager to learn more. Use the hook, unlock the secrets of science with fun experiments. So you can use this particular tool to create your own lesson plans. It will help you to make it more interesting. You don't want the kids to be in class and they are going because probably it's boring. It can give you a lot of, varied ideas on how to hold a session like that, give you more creative ideas to help your students to learn more. Okay, so let's look at other examples that is cited. It talked about renewable energy. So it says, save the planet with the power of renewable energy. Then we have other type. We have 3D printing. Teach students about 3D printing and let them design and print their own 3D objects. So aerospace engineering. So it goes on and on and on and on and on about so many ideas that you can use to teach kids. So let's set another example. It's still in the place of, education-wise. So let's say, for instance, you are a writer, right? And you want to write a story about, maybe a motivational story to help kids to be more motivated in class. So let's say we can just put that here. So we can put here a motivational story to help children to be more determined and firm in decision making. We can also specify it to maybe children within the age range of 5 to, let's say, 7. So let's see what the AI tool would give us. As you can see, it's giving you a short story about how to, help kids to be more determined and be more fair. And as I said earlier, you can just look through it and tailor it to fit what you want to say, maybe your focus. And another thing is that you can make it very, very specific as you move along. You can make it let's say you have an idea, but you don't know how to go about it. You can just make it that way. And then the AI tool will just give you that particular information you are looking for. without any stress. And another thing is that you have to check out for plagiarism, because you have to check that this story is actually not online, And so that's why as I said earlier, that it's more like a template that you can use. It's better. It's like having an experience teacher giving you more ideas on how to go about a particular situation. So it's really, really great that you check through it as well. Okay, I think our facilitator is in, so I will just stop here for now. I think it's a nice intro to ChatGPT, and I'm really excited about how he's going to teach us through this lesson. So let's just be patient and wait for him. Thank you. Hello, Malto.
Hi, can you hear me now?
Hello? Yes, we can hear you loud and clear.
Okay. Can you turn your video on? Let me be sure.
Yes, my video is on. Yes, you can start sharing your screen now.
Hi, Estelle. Hello, Estelle. Can you confirm?
Yes,
I'm
yes,
audible.
we can see you. Yes, and you're live.
I didn't get you.
Yes, we can see you, we can hear you, and you're live.
Okay, so thank you. We had a bit of ISP challenges. Just a minute, I'm pulling my presentation up. And I'll start in a bit. Please confirm you can see my screen.
Yes, we can see your screen.
Okay, so I'll be making a presentation as it is. Probably you may have given the introductory already, which I may not have heard or missed. But thanks for the
Hello, Malto. Malto.
So I'm sharing my slide now and confirming you can see my slide.
Yes, we can see your slide.
Hello, Estelle.
Yes, Malto. Yes, we can see your slide. You can go ahead.
Are we good to go now?
Yes, please, we are good to go.
All right. So let me just go and okay. Sincere apology for the delay. About half of the time is already done. I'm going to run a bit fast in today's presentation so that we do not miss a lot, but also good enough, we'll be having a second part of the same presentation. So whatsoever as it is I may have been planned to present today, which I may not be able to present, I would probably just add it to the next presentation so that people will be updated to the knowledge as it is we intended to share today. One who asks, what can AI generate today? AI has actually broken the bounds and brought new innovation with a lot of things as it is we are or currently are capable of doing today, not but limited to generating human faces. So currently AIs are able to now generate images that looks exactly like human beings, but are actually not pictures of any human being as it is we have. AI is now capable of creating music based on the kind of information that had fed the algorithm or model. We can now use AI to write code or be able to record videos. So I'm going to just pick two of the items as it is. Like I said, AI is capable of doing, where if you look at some of the things as it is I may have listed from my previous slide to say that AI is now capable of now creating certain items, either video, images, art, as it is you may have based on some of the information that may be fed to the model. If you see on my screen right now, these are AI generated images from a model me. As it is with permission, as it have sought from him to be able to use his images in this presentation. On the right side of the screen, actually the true images as it is you may have had, which he fed into an AI model. That AI model now was able to learn how his facial or his body type looks like, and was able to now generate tons of images as you can see on the left side of the screen. So now AI is now capable of manipulating as many things as it is you can list, imagine. I'm going to play a quick video for us, which is less than a minute, for us to see what certain things AI.
We're entering.
AI have been used to for achieve.
We're entering an era in which our enemies can make it look like anyone is saying anything at any point in time, even if they would never say those things. So, for instance, they could have me say things like, I don't know, Killmonger was right, or Ben Carson is in the sunken place, or, how about this, simply, President Trump is a total and complete dipshit. Now, you see, I would never say these things, at least not in a public address, but someone else would. Someone like Jordan Peele. This is a dangerous time. Moving forward, we need to be more vigilant with what we trust from the internet. That's a time when we need to rely on trusted news sources.
If you probably would have paid attention, you would see where it is actually I am going. That was one of the presidents of the United States of America. And all the audios or the videos as it is we are seeing was not shot by him. He is not the one in the video. The video was actually shot using what we call AI models or AI generated video content as it is we might be able to see. So one actually reacts, then what is artificial intelligence? Is there a reason why we should be using artificial intelligence today or not? Does it really help us? We have been just as it is maybe associated with AI technologies going forward. But these are some of the answers that's out of or throughout this conversation as it is we seek to be able to have today. Like you said, we spent almost half of the time. I'm not going to bore us a lot with some of the technologies or the technicalities of what today's presentation will be. Our attempt is shifted to our next presentation. But I can promise us, no one is going to mix. You don't need to really be a techie to understand what it is we want to be able to have done today. I'm going to leave this definition for artificial intelligence and hoping that by the time maybe I hit the last slide, you will have been able to find what it is artificial intelligence will do. You can visit what we call teachable machines, one of the two platforms developed by Google, to be able to better understand how AI technology really works. You don't really need to be a tech one way or the other. You can use this platform to be able to teach people in the primary school or DSS or the university to have a better understanding. But because my interest today is not really centered on AI, but to expose us to some of the possibilities, I want to leave this link with us so that we can visit the platform and be able to explore on ourselves. Like I said, you don't need to be a technique to be able to understand. Once you can read and understand, you're able to manipulate the platform directly. What it does or sucks to do would be that it gives you the option of loading as many either file models as it is you may want to have onto a platform based on the data set as it is you have loaded onto the platform. Now, the AI framework is not able to predict or be able to suggest some of the things as it is you may want it to be able to do. So this brings us to today's presentation. Just to reaffirm again, my name is Steven Donko. I prefer to be called Malto. I live on the internet where you can find me at malto@stevedoc.com or on Twitter at Stevedoc. So today's topic will be how to use AI or open AI in education. And what we've had the times or certain questions where people ask, do we really need AI technology in the classrooms? We've seen instances where we've had students have either their articles cancelled just because they use AI technologies in writing their articles. So prior to this conversation, I had done a bit of a survey where I asked some of the technology communities in which I belonged and asked just a simple question: do we think we need to ban AI in education or the classroom? How far this can we take, like AI technology in our work or not? Is AI, and one of the most critical questions that's happening reoccurring, the greatest school of thought that says or asks the question that is AI technology or AI technology or AI and its associates, as in robots and or what's not have you, are taking over our job. But is that really the case? Is AI or robots really taking the jobs as it is we have today? I'll leave that to you again. I hope our viewers will be able to answer those questions in the chat section. My question is very simple: is AI or robots taking over our jobs? If your answer is yes, can you give the reason why? So at the end of the day, we are able to learn from each other whilst sharing information as well. But before I go to my next slide, I want to encourage you, you don't want to be the only one watching this presentation. Who has the honors to be able to share the presentation link with a friend to be able to see what AI technology is being used for, because we don't want to leave anybody behind. I think it's a time for the youth, it's a time for Africa to start with where it is I am. So as my topic clearly states, I'll be talking about open AI with my emphasis on ChatGPT. That has created the basis, even though ChatGPT is not the only AI technology that is capable of either writing text or being able to suggest things as it is, the responses as it is we have. But they have taken a giant leap, and we have other technologies that are following suit. We currently, as it is, we might say, have technologies that might be able to challenge the performance of ChatGPT, but we cannot present all the solutions today. I'll take it one at a time. One would ask again, what is ChatGPT? But ChatGPT, as it is, we have is a solution or a platform that has actually been created by OpenAI. OpenAI is actually a company run by OpenSea. And before ChatGPT got here today, what it is we see, the development of ChatGPT has started over 10 years ago. So the technology that we are actually enjoying today, we have had men and women, old men, and sweat in this simple but sophisticated technology that everybody is really, really talking about. ChatGPT is just one would find it as a natural language processing that uses machine language to be able to generate a human-like responses for the user that might be asking a question. To leave it simple, because for our time, I'm not going to complicate it. I'll go to our next screen. This 4 or 5 points as it is are picked from along Sunday from the internet, one blogger from the Ghana ecosystem on some of the mistakes to avoid when using ChatGPT to be specific. One, they all have limitations, especially when you take ChatGPT version 3, as it is, if you do not know, has been trained with a model of data that spans up to 2021 September, so September 2021. So if there is any information that is currently lying on the internet and beyond September 2021, if you ask ChatGPT that question, ChatGPT won't be able to answer that question for you, meaning that even though it might have all the capabilities, it as well has limitations. We do not want to have over-reliance on the technology as it is we have today. And whilst using ChatGPT, if you are not specific enough, trust me, the results or the responses as it is you might be getting might not be as appropriate or as accurate as it is you may want to be able to. You want to be also mindful of using appropriate languages when using especially any AI technology, just not limited to ChatGPT. To be able to try your hands on ChatGPT, I saw our moderator doing some literary demonstrations of some of the things. Thank you so much, Estelle, for holding the fort whilst I was having the ISP issues. You can head directly to what we call chat.openai.com. Once you go to chat.openai.com, you should be able to see a screen that looks just similar to what it is we have currently. And then you have 2 options: either to log in or to sign up. You can, if you are fast enough, you can actually create an account so that you can actually keep in time with whatever as it is we are doing today. So we're going to go using the sign up option because I'm going to presume they're all beginners where we don't have an account, including me myself, and be able to walk you through the process. Even though I'm not going to manually do the process of creating the new accounts, but just to give us a vivid demonstration or image of how or what it is you might see. And there are 2 things that you may need to do. You need to be able to provide a valid email address and a phone number for validating. The platform would want to know that it's somehow a human being. It's very interesting to sometimes know that a machine tries to now ask you, are you a human being trying to log into the but those are 2 able to have access to the ChatGPT platform. So once you go to the creation of accounts. You can either log in directly with your Gmail account or your Microsoft account, or you can create by just using the email address you want to be able to have. They'll send you an email, and then once you enter your number, they send you a code for validation. There are also legal issues, and being able to know or determine that the one creating the account is above a certain legal age. They try to ask you for your consent of entering your age for the purpose of what it is we have. In dealing with ChatGPT to be specific, because of the time, I have skipped a couple of slides so that we're able to demonstrate certain things for the time elapses. So ChatGPT actually makes uses of what we would call in that space prompts. Prompts are one way, in my own personal language, maybe the arm of what the platform uses to actually bring back the response as it is you may want to be able to have appropriately. So for ChatGPT, it may have or have been able to experiment about 20, if not more, prompts for ChatGPT. There are prompts that it is you can have. There are prompts that it is you can rewrite, meaning there might be an article you want ChatGPT to be able to rewrite for you. You can ask ChatGPT to summarize a text component, no matter the length of the text as it is you may have. You could have a 10-page document and you ask ChatGPT to summarize it to a 1-page document for you. Or even you can be specific and ask ChatGPT to summarize it to not more than 100 words for you. You can use ChatGPT to be able to brainstorm whatsoever it is you want to be able to have done. Let's say you wanted to be able to have a party, or maybe your wedding was coming up. You can ask ChatGPT, I have X amount of money. What ideas am I able to do with this specific amount of money? And ChatGPT would clearly, based on the input as it is you might give it, or the context as it is you might provide it for it, it will be able to give you close to a perfect strategy or a step-by-step approach of what it is you want to be able to have. You are able to use ChatGPT for translation. So translations, that when I was exploring that for translations, I noticed the clear difference between the Google translation and then that of ChatGPT. And so I did a bit further more read, and I realized that I was not really wrong. ChatGPT actually provides better, more in-depth translations as it is you may require. Why? The reason that ChatGPT is able to now understand what it is you are trying to translate, whereas Google would only translate the words as it is you may have given it word for word. So if you have ChatGPT and Google Translate, just use these two platforms, you will notice that you might have a better translation of ChatGPT. You can even further ask ChatGPT based on the translations as it is you have, to even show you how to pronounce whatsoever as it is you may have translated. You're able to have role play, you're able to generate lists, like I said, brainstorming, creative writing. One great tool as this ChatGPT also really have. You are able to give ChatGPT a context and then ask ChatGPT to create a story out of it. Based on the story, you can even ask ChatGPT to be able to create a music based on the story, or even go further to even ask it to create a poem out of the story as it has given you. You can ask ChatGPT to give us feedback. And so all the things as it is I am mentioning are what we call prompts. And being able to understand these prompts perfectly helps you to get the most out of ChatGPT. My intention was to be able to go through all these prompts and how it is you can do them perfectly. in the workspace or in education. By looking at us, I might be able to just demonstrate a couple of them. And then hopefully when we meet next time, I'll be able to now bring back all the ones as it is we were not able to have had presented today. But like I said, if AI or what it is we call in this conversation as it is we're having today, ChatGPT is your interest, and it should be your interest. Because like in one of the groups, one of the members said, ChatGPT or AI is actually taking center stage, and we do not want to be left behind. ChatGPT has actually disrupted, not ChatGPT, AI has actually disrupted a lot of things. We are going to see a lot of changes in legal matters, or what we call the law courts, in medicine, like I'm saying, in education, which now people are having issues. Either we should allow or encourage the use of ChatGPT. But with the rise of ChatGPT 5, even though currently what it is we are using in our space is ChatGPT 4, which is the free version for everybody to be able to use. There is ChatGPT 4, which is commercial. You pay $20 a month to be able to have all the power as it is ChatGPT 4 actually provides for you. What is the difference between ChatGPT 3 to 5? ChatGPT 3 only provides you with text content responses. In ChatGPT 4, you are able to go beyond the text and have images. In ChatGPT 5, we are going to have the combination of the two, which is text, image, and then video for ChatGPT 5. And there are clear demonstrations or clear timelines that by December this year, we might welcome ChatGPT 5 in this space. So I'm going to go next, and then probably we try our hand a bit, since we've already gone through the procedure of creating an account. Means that we probably, even as it is we are waiting, we would have seen some of the things Martin I was talking about, and taking the time to be able to create an account. So I'm going to go switch into one of the console for ChatGPT, which I'm going to use for this demonstration. I do not want to use the wall so that people would now see some of the differences that's in your camp. ChatGPT 3 is free. Anybody can actually use it. You can use it to guide you in everything as it is going to be able to have done. So at this point, I don't know if there are any questions that is in the chat. If not, I'm going to switch from my presentation slide to my browser, if you permit me. Hello, Estelle, am I still audible?
If you are. Hi, Steven. Hello, Steven.
Right, thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you. I am going to my next presentation, where we try our hand. So this is a robot trying to confirm if I am a moment. Whilst it checks my browser and wait for the platform to begin. Yes. So I've already, once you log into ChatGPT, I think my browser is still loading.
Malto. Hello, Malto.
Hi.
Yeah, so just as we wait for your brother to just finish up, okay. Are you good to go?
It's just very sad today. The
Yeah.
internet in the office has been so terrible.
So there's a question. Maybe you can just answer that whilst you just check on that too. So someone is asking, is there a free software to download on PC?
So I think I lost connection again. So I'm just going to share back my screen. My browser. So the interface of ChatGPT as it is still version 3 would look similar to this as it is we have on my screen. I don't know why it's taking forever to come, but once it is, I wait for the screen to load.
Hi,
There are
Malto.
these options as it is. I would want to try to work it through before. Hello, Esther, were you trying to say something?
Yes, we have some few minutes to go. Hello, Malto.
Hello.
Yes, Malto. Please, can you hear me? So please keep your questions coming. Let's know what your thoughts are so far. Hello, Malto. Please, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, by your voice is cracking.
Hello, Malto. Malto. Hi, everyone. So sorry about the technical glitch. Our facilitator seems to be having some issues with his internet. So okay, so we're about to just wrap up. Yes. We're going to have a continuation of this session next month. So be on the lookout for that. Yes. So we have some questions coming in from, yes, from Stephen Amenono. He said, please, I know some schools prohibit students using AI for the class-related work. What can they utilize it for studies? And then we have another one, a comment coming in from Matthew. He says that students should depend on AI applications. So he shared his thoughts on that. He said students should depend on AI applications to teach them to paraphrase, correct grammar by studying the techniques used by these applications. So also mentioned that we shouldn't be over dependent on the particular tool, just to help you to have an idea on what to do. So you shouldn't be so overly dependent on it as a student, but use your creative mind. Let the tool be an enhancer instead. All right, so we have another question coming in from. Okay, so I think this is all that we have for today. Thank you so much for joining us. We would have a second phase for this particular session. My name is Estela Hildanaman, and I'm the coordinator for American Corner Abuba. Same time we come your way next week. Have a great day. Thank you.